Okay, so Tyler writes one page every 5 minutes. I have to say, I'm putting the one page on the bottom, but because it's a one there, but I don't necessarily love um, putting the page on the bottom and time on top, right? I usually like seeing, and usually time would go on the bottom. But in this case, because our page is one, right? I know it's a unit rate. I want to keep the unit on the bottom if I can, right? So, and we know that Tyler, we want to find how long it takes him to write 25 pages. So, to get from 1 to 25, we multiplied by 25. Then we're going to multiply the top by 25. So to find out how much time, right, to determine the number of minutes it takes him, what did we do? We multiplied 5 by 25. We already know he read 25 pages. We had to multiply the 5 times the 25 to get the minutes, right? Awesome. Now, let's take a look at number 4. Giovanni has a stamp collection. He keeps 14 stamps, right? He keeps 14 stamps, which is only 7%. So 14 stamps is 7% of his total collection. What is the total number of stamps in Giovanni's collection? So we know that in a percent proportion, we have part over whole, and we know the word is represents or is a keyword for part, and of is a keyword for whole. And we also know on the other side we have 100 on the bottom and the percent on top. So let's take some of the information we know or we have given to us in the problem and put it in where we know it belongs from our formula, right? So we have 7%, and we know that goes over 100, right? And now we have to decide whether 14 is the part or is the whole. Well, 14 is 7%, right? So is telling us it's a part, right? Oop, making it 14. And then we also know it's asking us the total number of stamps. Well, we know we're looking for the total. So we know we don't have the total. We're going to represent that by, right, our variable because it's an unknown value. Now I'm going to clean this up a little bit. And I'm going to do my cross multiplication and then my division. Now, I know we could do the whole algebraic expression, right? But we're just actually going to solve by doing the multiplication and then going straight to the division. So we know we cross multiply and then we could divide by the only value we have left. Okay, and that's going to give us 200. So do we have our answer there? D, 200. Giovanni has a total number of 200 stamps in his collection. Okay. Our next problem, pretty straightforward, is what is 110% of 60? Again, just as a reminder, part whole is of percent over 100. So what is 110% of 60? So we have 110% over, right? 110 over 100. And we have of 60. So of is telling us that it is the total, the whole thing, right? So of goes on the bottom. It's our whole, right? And we want to find 110% of that. We don't know what it is. So our part, we don't know what our part is. Okay, so now we are going to cross multiply. And because I left my calculator out, I am going to do it all the long way, which is actually good for you guys because you need practice in seeing this. So I'm going to do 110 times 60. Hold my place value. I might do it a little fast, but you can just slow the video down or pause it. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 1. 6 times 1. Okay, so I have 6,600 or 6,600 divided by 100. So 100 can't go into 6. 100 can't go into 66. 100 can go into 660, right? 6 times. And our answer is 66. Okay, so what is 110% of 60, right? X equals 66. So which one shows that? C. It's 66. And that makes sense if you're thinking about these ratios, right? So 110 is more than 100, right? So our part is going to be more than our whole, right? Because it means we have 110%. If you eat 100% of something, then you ate the whole thing. If you eat 110%, that means you ate the whole thing and then you have some more.